Good evening and welcome to our live crafting this evening. It is Thursday, the 2nd of October 2025. A warm welcome to you, and it's great to have you join me. Sorry I am a few minutes late, and I'm just playing a little bit of catch up this week. It's all gone slightly to pot. But hopefully we are here now, and I can see Caroline has joined us. I think she's joined us anyway. We'll soon find out. So a good evening to you. On our live on Tuesday, hi Caroline, we created not Tuesday, this was Monday. We created this card here. Let me turn my overhead light off because I've got a bit of shadowing going on here. Hopefully this will be a little bit better. So we created this one. This is our coffee and card design, and this was one that I created during our coffee and card session on Tuesday morning. And we'll be doing this card tomorrow afternoon, that's Friday, in Brackley. The idea for this came from the cards that we made at Let's Get Creative. That's our all-day event. Sorry about the reflection, they're still in their cellophane bags, from the previous weekend. So I thought I'd do a variation on these just to show you some other options for working with this particular set of stamps and dies. So the first thing that I'm going to use is, I've got this embossing folder here. Hopefully you can see a little bit of that detail. Apologise if you get any of that reflection. I'll try and hold it at the right angle. So this is a 6x6 inch embossing folder, so it goes through most embossing machines, obviously goes through our stamp and cut and emboss machine, and it features this beautiful wreath design, perfect obviously for Christmas. And I popped this piece through already. This is cherry cobbler, please, and I'm hoping you can see that in the light. I've actually got two here. Don't know whether they're, yeah, this is slightly cut down, slightly different size. Okay, so I'm going to use this as my base. I've already got this stamped out because you saw me stamp it basically on Tuesday morning. So let us start with a card base, and I'm going to use basic beige rather than white that we've used previously. So I'm going to make another large square card. Now obviously this takes up most of a sheet of card, so it does make this more expensive than these. So you could basically make two of those for the cost of one of these larger ones. But if you were doing a special family card or sending to multiple people, then it would definitely work having a larger card, or if you just wanted a nice special card. So the width of this card is 29.7 centimeters. So we're going to basically make that a square card. So what I'm going to do is score at 14.85, which is halfway across this width. So that's the biggest I can go on an A4 sheet of card. And then I'm going to cut it in the opposite direction at 14.85. So this does give me these pieces here, and these are perfect for stamping and colouring the panel here on, because they're the perfect size. Let's move this one out of the way for the minute. we've got a nice square basic beige card, and I'm going to put one of these layers. I suspect this is being cut to the correct size. So this is about 14.2 centimetres, which gives me a nice border all the way around. So I'm going to glue that down. Okay, let's pop that down. Like so. Sorry, this car's moving outside, that's why you can hear Woody barking. And I've got Gino right in front of me where I'm sitting, so I can't get very close, so I do apologise. So this layer is going to go down on the front of our card, like so. Okay, so I'm hoping you can see that detail. Now if you want to, you can rub an ink pad across there just to highlight some of that. I'm quite happy with it in the background. Let me show you this one here. If I take it out of its cellophane bag, it will be better. Okay, so I put it on there and haven't added anything. You could also use wing Castella on some of these elements here, or put some dots where the little dots are here. So if you have, for example, either some embellishments, or you have some dots that go with from these lovely rub-ons that we have, for example, you could put some of these gold dots on there. I might try and do that. I do need to take my glasses off, and let's just cut that little piece down. Move this out of the way. So I'm going to use gold. And just peel the backing away. And then I'm just going to place, let's see, I've got some here, I've got some dotted around, quite a lot dotted around. Let's put one on here. Like so. If you can see that on there. And then let's put one over here. So I'm just rubbing that with my thumb. Oh, it didn't come off very well. I was being careful not to rub too much because I didn't want to take the other elements off. Hopefully I've got it. No. It's because it's raised up a little bit. There we go. Oh, it hasn't come off, has it? It's still there. Right, try that again. Thank you, Caroline. She says she can see it, but oh no, it just really does not want to come off, this one. Right. Let's try. It was a good idea, Jenny. Come on, you are going to come off. No, it really doesn't want to. Let me try another one. I wonder if it's been handled too much. Let me find another one. Hopefully, I've got a very large one, but I'm hoping I've still got some gold. There's a lot of silver. Okay, I've got one here. Somewhat larger than I needed, but let's do that one, because then you'll be able to see it a little bit better. Best laid plans and all that. Okay, let's put this one in here. So a little bit oversized now. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? I've lost the plot. Why isn't that coming off, folks? It's not the wrong way around. Well, okay. I'm going to try something different then. Right, let's try. Oh dear. Alright, just wondering whether to try this piece down here underneath. I don't know why it's not coming through. That's better. Okay. Let's cut that piece off. Oh, I can feel this has got glue attached. I think the others must have been handled. And there's no self-adhesive on the back. Dear. This is reality, isn't it? That's better. That's what it should look like. Okay. So, the plan is, it's probably a bit too high now, is I'm going to put my panel across the top. It might work actually with that a little bit further down. Who knows? Right. Now I feel the need to put the rest of that piece on. If I can find it. There it is. Okay. Just so I don't waste this bit as well. And let's have this down here. So the other pieces weren't sticky on the back, so it wasn't transferring. Hopefully this one will be good. That's better. That's what it should do. Right, okay, that's fine. Alright, I'm going to do this colouring in and then stamping of my label, which might then go underneath there. So I'm going to colour this in really quickly. Now I don't know if you saw my post from yesterday when I was making those cards up from the kit. And one of the things was, and I'm sorry to digress, but the elements of the kit were quite pale. So what I did was I took the basic elements and then I used my blends pens and went over and added more detail. It's really obvious in this one compared to the light panel there. I also did this one and this one here, and also the little flowers on there. I'm just looking to see if I've got an uncoloured sample as a comparison here. So sorry, it was talking about blends pens that made me think of this. So this was what that panel looked like, the one on the left, and then this is the one where I've added some colour. Hopefully, it looks very washed out to me on the screen, but hopefully you can see it okay as being darker. So I just followed some of the lines that were given with the same colour, which in this case was petal pink, and then added the detail. So I'll do the same with this one, and you could also change the colour altogether. If you didn't want pink, you could take that to red, for example. So I'm hoping you can see the difference between the two. You almost certainly can on the yellow flowers. Not that I've got a direct comparison really, but here. So now I've not the camera. Dear. Okay, a quick bit of colouring in. I've got dark and light poppy parade, but you can use any of your reds. So I'm just going to colour in the poinsettia. I'm going to leave the other flower plain, but add a little bit of yellow, I think, in the centre. But it could also be blue if you wanted. It could be pink. So this is my cheats colouring. Just add a little bit of dark in the background and where the veins of the leaves are. Those are different colours, that's it. And this one here. Now I noticed yesterday that I was a long way behind with uploading to YouTube. So all the videos are recorded, I just need to upload them. YouTube doesn't like it if you upload too many in one go. And so, let's see if this one is better. This is actually light real red, but I think we'll be okay. So I am playing a little bit of catch up. I think there's 6 videos that will be released. It's amazing how quickly, if you don't load them up, how quickly they go through. And Facebook, of course, now destroys or removes videos that are more than 1 month old. So the only way to find those is to look on my YouTube channel. And you'll find them there. Okay, I'm going to try and do this a little bit quicker. And then I'm going to cut this out with my die cutting machine just really quickly. So very similar to what we did on Monday, but I'm just going to add a different sentiment panel, like so. There we are. I think that's all of that. A little bit of yellow. This is actually dark darling duckling. Just going to put a little bit on there. A little bit in the centre. Like so. I hope everybody's still live. Let's find a little bit of greenery. Let me see. Light and dark granny apple green. They'll do for my purposes. I have got new labels all printed out ready to put on the ends of my pens. So I've got a little bit out of the habit of labeling them, and I find it much easier to look at the ends of the pens with a label. None of these have got one. That's one of those jobs. An evening in front of a television is required. So I hope everybody had a good week. It turned out to be quite a nice bright day today. So that always is good. I have no idea of the forecast for the weekend. No doubt we will find out in due course. And Caroline, as you're here, my poor car is destined for the scrap heap, sadly. So Saturday will be spent sourcing a replacement car. Not really what I needed, but there we go. Okay. Last few flowers, and the Winker Stella makes this really pop. I'm not sure how much you'll pick up on the camera. This one has got Winker Stella on, but I don't know how much you'll see. Right, let's climb over the dog. Grab our mini cutting machine. I've still got the die in here ready, and I pre-cut the other sentiment die just to save some time. Hopefully there's enough sticky on here to keep it going, like so. Right, excuse my hand being in the way. And potentially rocking the table. So there are some beautiful papers that go with this, and instead of stamping and cutting out, I could have used the paper itself, because this particular die matches the paper. So if I show you this one here, I don't know if you can see, this is foiled, and this is cut from the paper. Okay, so I've got this. I really need another one of those, don't I? Okay, let's grab the banner. Like so, and this matches the traditional labels, and this has a set of label dies including this beautiful banner here, and sending love and joy and season's greetings fit this banner perfectly. Oh, hi Lynn, thanks for joining us. So I've got sending love and joy. This is the season's greetings. That's how that looks. So I might get away with that. Might see if I've got any more leaves I can put in that gap. Right, let's grab a block, and I've got just a hand. I've got cherry cobbler. I do like to do the sentiment in a slightly darker colour because often the sentiments are thinner, although this one is quite bold. It is such a pretty set then. So nice. Right, just make sure I've got enough ink on there. I think this is a little bit low in ink, this one. Okay, so sending love and joy. There we go. There's that one. And you can of course cut this free, so you can cut that little piece off if you want, or you can just cut the bottom part of that banner, and you could bend one of the sentiments. So for example, I mean, we have got merry and bright, so you could do merry, that one, and then and bright that way round. There's lots of options, or sending cheer, or whatever you wanted. Okay, I'm going to have to put something here, I've decided. Let me have a look in my little box and see what I've got that I might be able to use. Oh, stroke of luck. There's another one of those leaves. So I'm going to put a third one down here. And just so I don't waste the other bit behind, I'm just going to use that one there. And tuck it under here. I do really love these metallic rub-ons. I was hoping they might bring out some Christmas ones in white. I'll put it in the suggestion box for next year. So you just want to rub that on like so, and with any luck, there it is. Okay, so now I've got my, hopefully you can see those shining away. Alright, so now I can put this on, and you can have this either way. You can have it curving up, or you can have it curving down. I could have it completely higher up. No, it feels a bit pushed together, doesn't it? So what I can do is put a little bit of a bow underneath there, and I can add some of this coordinating bling, which I love because they are flat glitter sequins. What's not to love about those? I'm going to take one large, not red, one large gold one, and put that in the middle of that poinsettia. Hopefully you can see that shining. Could put them in the middle of the flowers as well, but I want to make sure I keep some for the people that are coming to Coffee and Card. Right, so let's grab some ribbon to put on top of that to hide my little gap that I've created. Assuming I can find it. Voila, here it is. This is my favourite gold ribbon. So we'd also have real red ribbon, which is what I used for this one here, like so. but I'm just going to tie a little bow with that and place that to cover up my little gap. Let's do that like so. So just 2 bunny ears. Fold that one over and under. There we go. Voila, that will do, I think. And that's going to go there to fill in my gap that I've self-created. Yeah, that will work. So let's pop this one up on dimensionals. Are honestly right here. Now for coffee and card we're going to be using the patterned papers. So I've got assorted patterned papers. You could also stamp a background if you wanted to. So let's put this up here like so, and then my bow is going to go in there. Make it a little bit smaller like that. I want to cover up the gap, but I don't want to cover everything else up. Looking for my excuse me, my glue dots, which are here. The other ribbons I've got, which I will take, I've got some cherry cobbler with gold, and I've got gold on its own. I might change my mind now. No, I'm going to stick with that, although the cherry cobbler does look rather nice. Okay, let's grab a glue dot. So you want to take your embellishment and push it onto the glue dot and then lift it away, rather than trying to pick the glue dot up and attach it to the back, because the more you handle it, the less glue it will have to stay in place. There we go, there's that. I've got Sending Love and Joy, which is going to go on the bottom. And then I'm going to add a few more little gold dots to make up for the fact that I've just got one up there. So just going to put 3 on here. You could also cut another one of these in a colour and put it behind. I'll show you a sample of that on one of my cards. So let's put this in here so it's just sort of connected with the bow. And there we go. Hopefully you can see that. So it just makes in my mind a special card. I've got just going to add a little bit of small bling to make up for that one little piece I added. On the inside we could stamp our large Happy Christmas from here. So I've got Merry Christmas in this particular set, and I've got Just For You. Thank you, Lynn. Let's grab those two. And you can line those up together if you wish. So I've got Merry. Let's see how this will fit in actually. Just going to turn it at an angle. Merry Christmas. Let's stamp it on my offcut here just to see that it's okay, and that will go in the middle. Now the set of dies that go with this large collection include all the dies for the stamp set, include some banner dies for all the various sentiments, and it also has some additional foliage dies. That's definitely wonky, isn't it? I think I adjusted this the wrong way. I need my Merry to go up. Sort of want it in there. Yeah, that's better. I need more coffee, I think. Right, let's see if this is any better. Yes, that's straighter. So this is going to go on the inside, just about there, like that. And this particular set as well does have a separate infill for the poinsettia that you could use, as well as the separate flowers and leaves and some little bits of foliage and dots. And in fact, these little dots here you could use to stamp around the outside if you wished. So there we go, there's our finished card. And if I can see my Winker Stella to hand, I will use it. I've got two here. I think this has got most in it. So you need to give your Winker Stella a good shake each time you use it, especially if it's been sat for a little while. Just going to try it out on my piece here, and I'm just going to apply this to my poinsettia. So if you're running short of time, you could definitely stamp the poinsettia element in your red or green as you wish. I don't know if you can see that on the screen or not. It may or may not show, but you could also add some to these flower petals here. That, and we are done and dusted. The papers for this are really pretty, as I said before, and if you're not a team member, now is a great time to join and get some bargain products at a bargain price. So at the moment the offer is £35 to join Stampin' Up as a demonstrator, and you'll get £130 of products for just £35, and that includes courier delivery to you and business supplies, catalogues and things like that. So you can actually get this whole suite, which is the 2 stamp sets, the 2 sets of dies, the papers and everything, for effectively £35. What's not to love about that? So if you're interested in that, just give me a shout and I'll talk you through it. But there we go, there is our stepped up Christmas card. This is a variation, and on this one I've cut from the papers and I've also cut the words, and this is called Words for the Season, and this has Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, Christmas wishes, Christmas greetings. It also has autumn and Halloween. So that's a really useful set of dies for cutting out words. Okay, Caroline, I will send you a message about what's involved in joining. All you need to worry about is what you're going to order. It's simple as that. And you'll get to be a part of our team. We have regular get-togethers, we have online meetings, and it also means you get your products at a discount from day one. So I'll send you a message with details of that, or we can have a chat on Tuesday when I see you, whichever you prefer. The joining offer runs till the end of October. So yeah, let's have a chat. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you liked the card. As I say, there are some other variations here. And this is what we did at Coffee and Card using some background papers. And this one here was the sample I did on Monday. So thank you so much. You can see I do like the red. Bit of a giveaway, isn't it? Thank you so much, everyone. I will catch up with you, all being well, Monday morning. We'll have a chat on Tuesday. Perfect, Caroline, thank you. See you Monday morning with a brand new stamp set of the week. So it's non-Christmas next week that we're making, and then I'll have a new kit to share with you on Wednesday morning. I look forward to catching up with you soon. Do take care. Thanks for your time and support today. Apologies for not quite being with it to start with, but we got there in the end. Thank you so much. Bye for now.